Hello. Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. And if you are watching this right now, I am not here live. I am pre-recording this. Um, I am casual today in one of my Phantom t-shirts because I just did a show with live show at my other show, VonPod. And but I wanted something here for you to watch on your Phantom Friday. How are you on this Phantom Friday? I'm not here to respond to your comments, but put them down below and I'll see them later. I am actually at a punk rock show right now. I am seeing, well, the Psychedelic Furs, yes, but I'm there for X, legendary punk band X, getting another mark off of my decline of Western civilization checklist. So there you go. That's where I am right now. Totally not Phantom related at all. But I thought I would give you a little clip show today. You know, on my other show, Von Pod, which is just a more general show, there's no theme like this one. I tend to talk about Phantom of the Opera there too with some of my guests, so I thought I would share some of the things that they've said. And so that's what you're gonna get here today. But don't forget, where is it? Our next live show, that's actually going to be episode 3, so I got to change that flyer, but Pete Bregman's going to be here July 22nd to talk about this, The Trapdoor Maker, the prequel to Phantom of the Opera graphic novel. It's funny, it's violent, and it's great to talk about. So I've taken a little break from reading the novel Phantom of the Opera, preparing for my little book club to read this graphic novel again to prepare for my show. Definitely check that out. We're going to be live, talking live with Pete. And but right now, let me show you a clip from my show with singer-songwriter Sweaty Lamarr. Here it is. He is.
Hi.
Tara.
I just scared the shit out of Simone with my
Oh
little.
no, well what about Lugosi?
Lugosi is not in the room. Lugosi is hanging out in the living room.
Is it
Simone,
named
though,
after Bella Lugosi?
yes, and Simone is
Hell
named
yeah.
after Simone from Cat People.
David Bowie, right?
No, the original Cat People.
Oh,
Al Luton classic
gotcha.
horror movie about cat people.
If it's not Phantom of the Opera, I'm not as well versed in it. That's like my other passion, and I will make a show about that too coming in the future.
Phantom as in like film or the cocaine musical?
The entire spectrum from
Great. Okay.
Phantom of the Paradise, glam rock operas by David De Palma, of course the popular musicals. Did I say David De Palma? I'm sorry, that's Brian De Palma. I didn't catch that until now. Okay, back to our about bobbleheads, like toys, Phantom toys.
Okay.
From Gremlins, Iron Maiden, McFarland, vintage 80s like G.I. Joe style, like bobbleheads.
Great.
It's crazy. But
Great.
I'm a book purist. Have you ever read the book?
I have not. The only property I've seen is, as I call it, the cocaine musical, which,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I was not expecting to love it. I took my mom as like a Christmas gift for her because it's her favorite.
Wait, when did you see it for the first time?
Maybe the end of 2018.
Oh, wow, recently.
Pandemic. Yeah, within the last 5 years, I think 2018. And all of a sudden, the second the chandelier starts sparking in the middle of the stage,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I went, oh, fuck, I'm in. And of course, everybody probably.
Were you
I was in the third row.
See, I've only seen it from the mezzanine. I've seen it like I'm maybe 5 to 8 times in my life.
You missed.
I know I'm going to do it one day. I should do it sooner than later.
I don't know if I'd recommend it because like you
Yeah,
don't.
but I've seen it from the other's perspective, so now I just want to
Yeah.
be up close.
The stuff you get to see is like the expression on the actors' faces, and you
I've
kind of
never
get to
seen that
see
before from the
how
top.
the candles come out of the stage floor, but you miss acting pieces. So like my mom knew the
Yeah.
story, but I didn't know the story because like when he comes down from the sort of like what is it, like the sort of angel on the
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
perfume arch,
You
like
can't see him, right?
I didn't know what was happening, so I had to look up
See,
and go, oh shit, there's a guy. So
yeah.
I don't know if I
But I
totally
know he's there, and I've
you
seen it before.
you know the story, so you'll be fine. But I was like, what am I missing?
Sure.
What's happening?
For
So
the
yeah.
first time, you should be in the mezzanine.
Okay.
Later in life, that was just the cheapest tickets to get. You know,
I would go again.
and if I was going with somebody new, like I wanted him to see that. So
Yeah, that
now
makes
I deserve an orchestra seat.
yeah. I got a good deal. I will let you know how to find cheap tickets. I'm very
All
good.
right, all right. Well, I do have the summer off, so maybe that's a
Okay.
plan. And plus, like, God, it was such a fear that Broadway was gonna like just shut down like forever or indefinitely for a while. So, but of
100.
course, Andrew Lloyd Webber is not gonna let that happen. He
No,
will buy every seat himself
I
before
really
that shit happens.
I had to say I really did respect that he was like, I will take all of these vaccine trials to get people back in the theater. I was like, that is not just like do
Yeah.
nothing gesturing. That was some real stuff. So I was very grateful. I've made fun of the man a million times because I used to host
I
like
of
rowdy
course.
meetings with cats. Like famously part of my people know me from making fun of Cats, the movie. But
Oh,
I have
yeah, I mean
them for
it's
that.
ridiculous.
I had to see it 6 times because I kept getting asked
Oh,
to be people's like
jeez. I've
bestiality
only saw it once,
prominent movie.
but I saw Cats on Broadway when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never saw it.
And what you don't get from the movie experience besides like anything redeemable at all. And I like Cats just because it's mindless and it's fun. The songs are fun, you know, whatever. The movie was terrible, but anyways, at the beginning of the show and throughout the show, the cats that are not on the center stage are like crawling around the walls and stuff. Like there's little sections for them to just be everywhere. And in the beginning of the show, when the lights go out for the first time, they have these like light up eyes that kind of blink and they
Okay.
run across the audience. And one of them ran right in front of me. And at the first blink, right in front of my face, it like freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, it kind of would
It
if you
was cool, but it was like, that was just very shocking.
Sure. Yeah, I can get that. That makes sense.
But it was fun. And the Phantom of the Opera, I actually, so my brother is 8 years older than me, so whatever he kind of got into something, I would kind of get into it via proxy.
Yeah.
And he, for some reason, loved the Phantom of the Opera at some point in his life, and Andrew Lloyd Webber, which is weird because he's like traditionally like a Van Halen guy, you know.
Okay. Love Van Halen personally.
Yeah, I got to see them a few times because of him as well. Never with David Lee Roth though, only with Sammy Hagar.
No,
But
it's
still,
in this house it's Van Halen, not Van Hagar. Pound cake is fun, but
yeah, but when you don't have that option, it's like this is before the reunions. Like
no.
it hadn't even happened again yet.
Would they
I
do
saw them like in the 90s.
songs?
I think so. I think they'd have to do at least a few, right? I
Yeah,
forget.
otherwise it's a 3-song concert.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, for some reason got into Phantom of the Opera. I was like 11 years old, so I was like a sponge. I was already, just for context, I had already started the internet's first haunted garage website at 11 years old. Thus, skip to now, I'm making this documentary about them. But in that same time, I discovered Phantom of the Opera, and it was just kind of like this magical experience. Like we listened to the music, and then it was like, well, at the same time, we got the book from the local library, which I didn't know at the time, but it was an original American pressing that I went back to try to find, and it's not there anymore. Like from, like 100 years ago. And that was the first time I read the book. And the thing about Phantom of the Opera as a whole, I mean, this book was written in what, 1890 something? I gotta pop in and say, oops, my mic fell off. That's wrong. It was published in 1910, 1911, but I'm getting it confused with when the story was set. Commentary on my videos. Right? Nobody's gotten it right yet, but it's hilarious how bad everybody gets it. And you gotta, like, it's the fun of it, you know? Like, yes, there's the cocaine 80s supposed to be a rock opera. You should see the original music video concept. It's bonkers. To the Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, like, gory Phantom in the 90s, or like Brian De Palma's 70s glam opera Phantom of the Paradise, which predated Rocky Horror Picture Show, the movie, I believe. It's just crazy what's out there, and that's what I love about it.
Well, I will have to check these out. Yeah, I've only seen the musical. It's the only one that I'm aware of.
I can be your guide, and maybe just watching my YouTube show when I started will be enough.
Totally.
So, hey Tara, if you're watching, this is my Phantom of the Opera YouTube show. The next clip is from Spooky Band, The Destruct Principle. What is your favorite version of Phantom of the Opera?
I will answer this. I don't know if this counts, but it's going to count for me. It's actually Phantom of the Paradise.
That totally counts. Yeah,
it does totally count.
A very common answer.
It is one of my favorite movies and musicals of all time. I actually have a little pin with Winslow, and his helmet comes up, and it's on a flap. It's amazing, and I have like a Death Record patch and everything. I love.
I need a Death Records t-shirt. That's like one of the things I'm missing in my collection.
Yes, and it's funny.
Paul Williams, who wrote the Rainbow Connection.
But yeah, I would say Phantom of the Paradise, even though I am a theater nerd and I did sing Phantom of the Opera in school. But
it's usually the first introduction of our generation.
But Phantom of the Paradise, if you
the
haven't
one
seen
with
it,
Robert Englund, we got an answer from the crowd.
I love the Robert Englund one as well.
Yes, and I've been itching to talk about that one too.
It's so good
because maybe if you want to be on our roundtable discussion when I figure that out.
Absolutely, there's actually I will talk about every Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
it is. That's
well, then we'll talk off air. But
I was gonna say, as you can see, and some might be surprised, we talk.
Well, let me give you new avenues.
There you go.
Talking,
But yeah, no, that's definitely a good one. I love the Robert Englund one.
I have all my props over there. You'll see it tomorrow. There's actually a movie called Dance Macabre with Robert Englund that was. Have you heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! It was actually the Phantom of the Opera with him was supposed to be a 2-movie deal.
Mm-hmm.
And this script got converted into Dance Macabre. So that was actually Phantom of the Opera Part 2 originally.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just got that on Blu-ray and I'm itching to talk about them.
Oh, awesome.
I love my monster rock bands. So here's another one. This is from with shock rock pioneer Bill Lindsey from the band Impaler.
Oh, no, that's Meat Wagon.
Yeah, that's Meat Wagon. That was from It Won't Die, right before that album, right?
Yep.
This is... I know, I skipped an album. It Won't Die. It's like between Undead Things and One Nation Underground.
That's right. Yep, and that was the first album that Brad Johnson joined us.
Gotcha.
As guitar player.
Oh, right. I know why I wanted to show this clip. So I have another fascination with the Phantom of the Opera, and I wanted to ask you what your favorite version of Phantom of the Opera is.
Oh, the Lon Chaney Senior one for sure.
I figured.
Yeah,
just a classic. I'm gonna be starting a YouTube show about Phantom at some point soon, so watch out for that, everybody.
About Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah.
About the history of it and all the.
I don't know, just like how weird, like. The weirder it gets, the more I'm into it. And like, oh boy, there's some weird phantoms out there.
Yeah. Well, Phantom of the Paradise is.
Yeah, exactly.
Off of that, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Oh yeah, phantoms are everywhere. Here's another monster rock band I talked to. I coined that term, I think, monster rock. I'm trying to get it into the vocabulary of the culture. Monster rock band cut like this. What are your favorite monsters?
Oh, my favorite monsters. Oh, now we're talking. All right.
Yeah.
First off, the number one, the classic, Mr. Freddy Krueger. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody better than him at his peak at that time.
Yeah.
That was the scariest image, but it was also really, really funny. But it was also incredibly violent for that time. Like if you look at it now, it's still like really crazy. Like all of the, all the practical.
You're talking about the first one or the whole series?
Well, yeah. Well, we're talking more the early on. We know it got a little crazy later on.
I really like New Nightmare. It's probably my second favorite, or maybe my favorite.
I like them all. I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for the remake.
I only saw that once. I wonder if it deserves a revisit. I only saw it once in the movie theater.
Yeah,
I remember being kind of disappointed, but like I think everything new the first time is going to be a little bit disappointing because it's never going to meet your expectations. Yeah, but I do remember the whole subplot about like falling asleep for like half a second and like that kind of thing was really cool.
Yeah.
So there was some the actor was fine, but he wasn't Robert Englund. It's never gonna be what you want.
Yeah,
it's like how can you win?
The same.
And it's and he can do it for a really long time because it's all prosthetic anyway, so it doesn't matter. People just want to hear his voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his wittiness and his ridiculously over the top, but everything about him, so cool. He was definitely a big inspiration for the boogeyman in our video Boogeyman. That was definitely something that it was kind of a cross between Freddy Krueger and a monster underneath your bed.
That's the one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, I heard Blumhouse wants to bring Robert Englund back and start the franchise up again.
Yeah, that is what I heard.
Are you down for that?
Absolutely, 100% down with that. I'm 100% down.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Like, even if it's bad, it's like it's still Robert Englund before he dies. Did you ever see Robert Englund as the Phantom of the Opera?
No, I did not. I did not know that happened in life. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I got to tell you about this now.
Okay, tell me about it. Let's go. Let's get into it.
1989. They made a Phantom of the Opera with Robert Englund, and it was sort of set in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the first so that's so bizarre. I mean, very soon after, like the lead girl gets knocked out and gets transported into the past for most of the movie, right? But it's bookended by modern day New York City, and the first thing you see in the movie is Tower Records in New York City.
Oh man.
And you're like, what the fuck is happening? But how great is that? Because now I'm nostalgia for Tower Records too.
Yep.
And it's sort of the take on it is sort of half very book accurate and half like Jack the Ripper, because it was a Canon film and Canon was just reusing sets, whatever they had left over, and it was some English like London stuff. So whatever, this one's set in London instead of Paris. But the big difference is that instead of wearing a mask, he skins people's faces off and stitches them onto his own.
Nice.
So it's like, it's super gory.
Yeah,
in that
that's
respect.
great.
I would definitely recommend it.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah, it's
100%.
It's the
that's
slasher
right up my alley.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, that sounds insane. I gotta see it.
Obviously, I love talking about my Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera. I'm sure I'll do a whole show on it at some point. This is a clip. This is when a guest didn't show up, so I had to improvise, and I ended up talking to my brother, Evil Kitty Keith, and my friend Jeff Frumess, who has a great channel that you should check out on YouTube. He talks about the Misfits and a lot of other cool things, and here we talk about Phantom of the Opera.
Have
the Essential, right?
That's the one. Yeah, I think it's the one you gave. This is your favorite version of it.
Yeah, because it's annotated. Although there is a couple spelling mistakes, I think, in it. There's some grammar and spelling errors, I think, but it's the most informative. There's probably just as many footnotes as there is actual text from the book.
Right.
Although it's missing the extra chapter.
Yeah, Phantom is great. I mean, I've heard you talk about it on some of your casts. I mean, it's a great story that's never really been done right. I mean, even the classic monster horrors really doesn't match the book. The Andrew Lloyd Webber catches one sub part of the book without really getting into all of it. No one's really done although my favorite version, I think you actually agree with me, even though it's still not spot on from the book. One of the better versions is the Robert Englund version.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I have a reason to, but I'm going to bring a third person into this conversation, and we're going to ask him what his favorite Phantom of the Opera is. Although I know the answer, it's Jeff Frumess from the Frumess channel. So I already know your answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Phantom.
What's your favorite version of Phantom of the Opera?
Phantom of the Paradise. Can you see that in the corner? Is it too dark?
I mean, I can see it because I know what I'm looking for.
Is that better? Can you see it?
Yes.
I mean, there's your answer. That's your answer right there, obviously. Phantom.
Do you know that one, Keith?
Is that the Kiss one?
No. That's Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and it has nothing to do with Phantom of the Opera.
Now, here's a little bit of interesting. I don't want to. I think that Kevin is the de facto Phantom expert who could run circles around me. So I don't want to speak out of turn here. However, and maybe you know this already, Kevin. Interesting. Of course, you know this. Interesting observation that I had when I was going through and watching all of the original Universal monster movies, the classics.
It's something I need to do.
You know, there's a great box set. It's like $34. It fluctuates between like $20 to $34. Dude, they do their 4K remasters on Blu-ray. They look gorgeous in black and white.
Do that.
I'll send you a picture of what it looks like. But
the
Phantom, this is the second Phantom. The first Phantom,
the Claude Rains one.
The Claude Rains Phantom. Yeah. Now, the Claude Rains Phantom is where they took the plot for Phantom of the Paradise. I couldn't believe how much of the plot was similar.
I got it.
Where Brian De Palma borrowed from that version of the Phantom of the Paradise. The stealing of the music.
Of the Opera, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that was not in the original Phantom.
No,
right? Yeah, so that was the whole hook of the Claude Rains Phantom.
Yeah,
was remade in Phantom of the Paradise, which
awesome. And another Phantom of the Opera after that. Like that's such a weird thing. So many Phantoms, just stole that version of it, and it's like they didn't even read the book or look at Lon Chaney or anything. And it's weird because that's like it's not a very good one plot wise. Let's say that much. Like his little
Claude Rains.
Yeah, I mean,
I liked it a lot. I mean, it's not a sacred cow for me the way it is for you. It's a sacred cow for you. I understand, but for me, I enjoyed it.
I enjoy them all, but for different reasons. You know, it's a beautiful one. It's got great music, but it's not a great Phantom movie.
You know, I've only seen it once, and I definitely want to revisit the Universal cycle. Maybe I'll do it for this year's 31 Days of Halloween. Maybe.
I would watch the Lon Chaney one instead.
Let's do it or together,
both. I mean, that was the original
Let's
Universal monster movie.
Of course.
Although it's not really. When you see the monsters all together, they use they kind of interchange the two.
I have a hot take for you, actually.
Okay.
I have a hot take for both of you. Keith, let me know if you agree.
Yeah, no, and Keith is the original reason I ever got into Phantom, so he can be part of this conversation.
There you go. So Keith, I'm curious to know what you think too. It is my belief that the original Universal horror film, or the original story,
yeah.
the seed for all of that can be traced back to Beauty and the Beast, the original fairy tale from the 1700s, and it was made so like crystal clear to me when I saw Jean Cocteau, I don't know if I said that right, Jean Cocteau's Le Belle et la Bête in 1947.
I never saw it.
It's going to be your new favorite movie.
Okay.
Like, you must see this film. You're going to love it so much. And I'm watching it, I'm going, holy shit, like, this is Beauty and the Beast, but this is also this is the first, all of them are Beauty and the Beast. Every Universal movie is about Beauty and the Beast. I was like, Beauty and the Beast is the original Beauty and the Beast. It made such perfect sense to me.
But do you think that, because obviously the movies all came from the original novel, Phantom of the Opera, do you think when he wrote that, he was telling a Beauty and the Beast? It's from the late 1800s.
Yeah.
So Beauty and the Beast predates
early
that.
1900s.
But you know what? I honestly, I can't. I know that isn't the book even more different than both movies? Right?
Yeah.
No
one's done the book.
Nobody's done the book.
No one's done.
That's the amazing thing about Phantom movies is it's amazing to watch how much people fuck it up in what interesting ways they fuck it up. And sometimes that makes that version special and good.
Right.
But
unique
and totally mind-boggling if you're using the source material.
I'm trying to see if it says what the original public date was on this.
I would say it absolutely.
Well, no, I think it actually came out in 1910. But the story takes place in the 1880s.
Yeah, because it was published in a newspaper.
Yeah, it was a serial.
When was Phantom of the Opera written?
I'm going to say 1911.
Oh, it's not going to speak for me. Okay, it was published. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. It was published in the first American edition of the Phantom of the Opera in 1911 from September 23rd, 1909 through January 8th, 1910. It was a serial. It was a print serial. And so it definitely, the story of Beauty and the Beast predates it. The fairy tale, I think it's is that Hans Christian? Who wrote Beauty and the Beast?
Here are some pictures that match.
I can't pronounce his name, but he's clearly very old. And 1740.
Okay.
So I would say that this template, this idea, this notion of humanity, because aren't all the themes in these movies humanity, or unless it's the Invisible Man, which is lack thereof humanity. It's actually kind of like the anti. Yes, it's the anti Beauty and the Beast story, actually, because it's the opposite theme in a way. It's a man who disappears, and with that, his humanity can leave him and he can truly be a monster, as opposed to all the other Universal horror movies, which are about a monster with more humanity than the humans who are the real monsters.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that one. But I don't know. You should read the book. I think Dracula and other books did this too, but the interesting thing about that was Gaston Leroux was most known for being a reporter, and so he wrote the book as if it was a true story,
right?
And he was investigating it.
I haven't read this in years, but what I remember is that the whole love story piece in the book is a small part. It's not the focus of the book. Whereas that's what the movie and that's what the play and all that focused on.
Yeah, they definitely.
The book is really about his history and about how he became who he is.
Some of it.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than the love story.
I wonder if that's why people have not done the original story yet, because it's easier to sell a story of unrequited love, monsters, humans.
There's a way. I think there's a way to do it, and I will talk about that ad nauseum as my show goes on. until some Hollywood executive calls me and hires me as a consultant.
That's a good listen. That's the way to do it, because it's like you get to write.
That's all I want to see in my lifetime is a true to book Phantom of the Opera movie.
But I think for you, Kevin, though, I mean, knowing you as well as I do, I think what you love so much about it is the Paris Opera House almost becomes a character.
Yeah, that's what most, if not almost every version is missing, is the Paris Opera House has to be a character.
Except for Phantom of the Paradise, where the Paradise itself is a character as well. And
maybe Brian De Palma did it right.
Well, I would say no.
but you know what? What's interesting, parallel though between Phantom of the Paradise and the original novel is Phantom of the Paradise is less a Phantom of the Opera story and more a Faust story.
Yeah, well, yeah, it blends. It's picture Dorian Gray. It has the setup is Phantom of the Paradise with elements of the Faust story of Faust, picture of Dorian Gray. There's even a smidgen of Caligari, with the beef, the stage set.
You say Caligari?
Well, how do you say it? Caligari?
I say Caligari, but Caligari. I guess I don't know what the actual correct pronunciation is.
No, you're probably right, and I'm probably wrong. I just
like that. Caligari is like my new thrash metal band.
Did you ever see the oh my god, that's a great name for a band, Caligari. Like it's not even a joke. Like that is a band name.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be plucked. Have you seen the 1989 version of Caligari?
No, but I've seen the 1989 version of Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
there I go again. And I want to talk about this. Have you seen this?
I have only seen the beginning on Shudder, and I never finished it.
It's on Shudder?
It was on Shudder. A long time ago.
You know what's coming to Shudder is the Guar documentary.
That's right. And, I still stand by what I said. I know that feeling of you didn't. It's nothing that you said, but it's something I picked up on. I don't know if it's valid or not, but like just a slight feeling of melancholy of like, I wish I did it. And I know that feeling.
Oh yeah. Totally, I've been saying that for years.
Okay. I just want to make sure
I have seen it and it is good. So,
but it's hard. It's a hard feeling, but here's the thing.
Sorry. It's
this channel. And I love what you're doing. I love that you're like doing this. And
I'm inspired by you.
Thank you. I want to come back on and like do like a full show.
Like, I know you can't stay here all
I can't, but I was like, I've so been in your position and I did not want to leave you hanging. So I was like,
I figured if anyone would understand, it would be you.
I totally understand. So just want to drop in and say hello. It's very nice to meet your brother as well.
Okay. I got one more clip for you, but before I do that, guess what? I can't find my intro. I found a phantom. Still got to get the jingle. All right. I'm going to get a jingle for the show soon. Sooner than later. I found a phantom. I mean, this isn't news, but I did go see the movie Thor, Love and Thunder. And Andrew Lloyd Webber is definitely going to get a nice paycheck on this one because... the really useful group. They definitely got that Phantom t-shirt all over this movie. So if you love Marvel movies and superheroes and you love your Phantom of the Opera, go see it. Yeah, that's my recommendation. It's a fun movie. Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, this show isn't necessarily it's not exactly safe for work material all the time, and this particularly true for this next clip. So be warned, this is a little not safe for work. You've been warned. This is from my show Tonight with Alexandra Lopez, aka EgoLibido. And we found a phantom.
Today we are counting down the top 10 hottest monsters. Number 10, Gossamer from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. I've personally always had a soft spot for gingers, and I think that Gossamer is a sensitive, misunderstood glam king who understands the value and importance of self-care. Number 9, Pinhead. Hot Topic manager by day, kinky goth sex god by night. Number 8, Michael Myers. If there's one thing that we learned from the show You, it's that stalkers are very hot. Unless you're my ex-boyfriend, in which case you really need to stop showing up at my house wasted at 3 o'clock in the morning. Also, LinkedIn, really? Number 7, Obelina. Those lips, that body. Elegant, poised. She could legit be the face of Chanel. Number 6, Monster Energy Drink. Not only does it taste like ass, it's also very addictive and will make your heart explode. Number 5, Frankenstein. If there's something that we've learned from Jordan Catalano, is that you don't have to be smart to be hot. This guy doesn't have a lot to say, which is hot, and he could also probably lift me up with one arm, which is also hot. Number 4, Cyclops, a one-eyed monster. Number 3, Bigfoot. Is he real or isn't he? Will he text or won't he? This guy has fuckboy with avoidant attachment issues written all over him. He is ugly, but like Adam Driver ugly. Number 2, Nicki Minaj. Okay, first things first, she'll eat your brain and then she'll probably give you COVID. And number 1, Count Chocula. Now, originally, this was going to be Dracula, but this guy owns his own lucrative business selling something that he's very passionate about, which is super sexy. Additionally, he's opted for earth tones instead of the traditional black vampire attire, defining his own personal style, which is hot.
So I have a question.
Okay.
See, I have a fascination with a certain monster who is a certain Phantom of the Opera. Is he hot or not?
The Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah.
Super fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, why?
Because he's romantic. I saw it. I don't remember what happens in the thing, but I remember being like, that guy's fucking hot.
Yeah, if you watch it now, you just see lots of red flags. Like killing people, kidnapping you, gaslighting you to thinking he's an angel.
Okay, so maybe this is my problem and why I'm still single, but I don't think that like killing people is necessarily a deal breaker. Like, I guess it would depend on
who he kills.
Depends on who and why. Like, what is the motivation behind it? I'm open-minded.
There, you heard it here first. On Fridays, generally, I do a show about Phantom of the Opera.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna plug it now.
Damn.
Well, tomorrow I will not be here live. I'll try to prepare something, but I will be seeing. This is me right now preparing something. X, legendary punk band X. But I'll be back live the week after, July 22nd, with Pete Bregman, who made a prequel graphic novel. It's funny and it's violent, so look forward to that. And it's called Found a Phantom, and I'm going to play my little intro. Found a Phantom. I still need to make a jingle for this.
That's so cute.
Thanks, I drew all those.
Oh, I love them.
Years ago. And to make this relevant to you,
yes,
you did do a video that I see. My thesis of the show is that even when I'm not looking for phantom stuff, it'll find me. Like, for example, if you saw the new Thor movie,
okay,
you would see a phantom in it.
I didn't see it.
That's okay. That wasn't homework for this show.
dude, I was really into Marvel stuff, and then I dated some guy that was like so anti comic book shit for like 5 years, and that just didn't see any movies for fun.
Now you're not caught up with it. It's like too much to catch up on.
Really too late to like.
Yeah.
But in that time, I learned all about Star Wars, and what I can say about that is that it's not as good as Star Trek.
I was gonna ask that. Let me save that conversation for a little bit.
Let's save it
because I want to talk about Phantom for a minute. So I'm not sure if this is the first video I ever saw of you, but it was definitely a video about dick pics. How did you get into the dick pic video business?
The dick pic.
The niche, yes.
So I get a lot of them. Don't send me them because you saw this. Like,
yes, no, this is not.
This is not.
Consent is key.
Video. But I get, okay, so basically I get them a lot, and this one guy that I had been talking to at the time sent me the most classy dick pic that I've ever received. That was just a silhouette of his thing.
Area, yeah.
Whatever, but like he was wearing pants, and it was like, it was non-aggressive. It was nice. I was like, this is like, you're showing me that it's there, that it cares about me, but you're not, you're leaving some mystery.
Was it prompted at all by the conversation, or?
It was like a sexy conversation.
Okay.
It was cute, but like, which is the only time you should be sending stuff like that. Like, don't just like be like,
right.
Here.
Yes.
Okay, out of context, this is not hot, because I don't know for sure that it's happy to see me. I don't know what it saw that made it stand up.
That's fair.
And so it's not flattering, is what I'm saying.
I'm going to show this video of you on Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah.
Because
invest now.
Dick pics. Boring. Repulsive. Unimaginative. We all get them, whether we ask for them or not. But what if there was a way for you to make your dick pics more interesting, entertaining, artistic? Well, now there is. Sharks, I present to you dick masks. Gone are the days of wondering whether or not the unsolicited you sent brightened up their day. With dick masks, the answer is obvious.
Cool idea. Let me say this. I love great design. I love the purity of stuff that is beautiful.
So on EgoLibido's YouTube, I found a phantom. Do.
Hell yeah. It's classy, it's theatrical, it shows you're a cultured man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. Andrew Lloyd Webber, get those half-mask dick masks.
No, but pay me.
Right.
Copyright. Like,
oh.
I mean, we're here to make money.
Yes, of course. This is a business here.
This is a business. If you're interested in purchasing a dick mask, you can slip into the DMs and we can talk. They're custom made.
You're welcome. / I'm sorry. I either gained a bunch of followers on that one, or maybe I lost a few. But hey, we talk about phantoms. They come to me in all forms. PG phantoms, X-rated phantoms. I'm here to talk about all of them. I don't discriminate on my phantoms. And wow, this mini-sode is already 45 minutes, so maybe it's not so mini. I hope you enjoyed my mini-sode. If you liked that, go to my YouTube channel, which you're on right now, and watch the full episode. And if you like genius disturbed musicians in white masks, you might like Buckethead. who is a real character in real life. And the singer of his first band, the Deli Creeps, they started it all, will be on the show next week. Join me on VonPod Thursday, July 21st. We're going to talk about masked madmen. And then if you also like other masked madmen, co-founder of Guar, Hunter Jackson, aka Techno Destructo, will be on the following week, Thursday, July 28th. I love my monster rock. I love my musicians in masks. Of course, next Friday, July 22nd, join me for a live episode with the writer of The Trapdoor Maker. And that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed your time here with me today. Drop a comment and I'll respond to it later. Hopefully I am getting my punk rock on right now. Bye.